Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalist.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalism.
Almost couldn't have citizens in America without journalism.
Mom, Dad, I don't understand why you're talking about this stuff because you can't make any difference.
I am a citizen journalist.
Over the last 6 months, 2 people who worked on the project have ended up in prison.
Journalism is not an easy thing to do.
You don't even have to go to college to be a journalist if you want to be a citizen journalist.
We're standing up on a soapbox and we're shouting in people's ears.
Makes it into a horse race story, right? Little plucky blogger versus big media.
Everyone has all this stuff in their head.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalist.
Citizen journalist.
Citizen journalism.
Citizen journalism is usually defined as journalism that is done by non-journalists. I think the most interesting sort of one-liner I've heard on it is that it's people who are non-journalists committing random acts of journalism.
So citizen journalism can include anything from people doing their own reporting by picking up a camera or by picking up the pad and pencil and writing stories on the blog, through commentary, through analysis. It's basically the idea that the readers are now participating in the authoring of the content as well.
There's a really fascinating movement that grows up quite spontaneously of people who have strong opinions that they're afraid to publish in the normal channels. They develop an alternative kind of press in the 1760s, and certainly gets roaring in the 1770s. And this consists of what are known as pamphlets or broadsides. It's all a form of guerrilla-style journalism. Now, probably the ultimate example of this practice of journalism, the use of pamphlets to get around the problems of being part of the establishment, had to be the career of Tom Paine. Because what Paine did was to write the most popular pamphlet of this whole time. In January of 1776, he wrote the pamphlet called Common Sense.
No, they haven't shut down this printing press for good yet. Gutenberg is still alive, and in fact, in just a few minutes, this press will be cranking out tonight's edition of the San Mateo Times. But there are some futurists who say that the days are numbered for the printing press, that increasingly our journalism will be delivered electronically and not on paper.
The newspaper business has been under siege for a long time, but most recently it's really come under a lot of pressure to produce more profits. One of the only ways they can do that is to cut costs. The fact is that the internet has created a hole in their bucket, and newspapers are losing money every day to internet sources of advertising, classified ads. Things like Craigslist are just bleeding the money out of newspapers that they got used to all through the 20th century.
And society is feeling its way by getting to realize that maybe every morning before breakfast it might be nice to see how a particular blogger who is particularly smart and thoughtful has picked up on the previous day and night's news in Europe and has put up a page that I can read at daybreak. I think every local politician should not only be conscious of bloggers, but should be afraid of bloggers.
Welcome to the John Tobin video blog. I'm a Boston City Councilor, obviously in Boston, Massachusetts, United States.
So John Tobin has these office hours up at a coffee shop up the street, and I went up to meet him one time, and I just met him and brought my laptop and showed him what I was doing with video blogging and thought he might be interested, and he liked the idea. And he decided that he did want to do a video blog.
Welcome to votejohntobin.com. My name is John Tobin, District City Councilor for Jamaica Plain, West Roxbury. We're out here on Center Street in Jamaica Plain.
And what happened on the last election was up until election day, we did 9 videos, 1 a day up until the election. We saw the traffic on his video blog go way up towards the end election time. And so we had a new video every day of Councilor Tobin talking about a different issue. And when you went to his opponent's blog, it was just like text on a page, and maybe you didn't get to know him as well as you do with video. And there's Councilor Tobin right there.
The Green Line used to run down the street here on these tracks that you'll see shortly. And in 1985, they're calling me from all over. We're going to finish this video blog. Hold on.
And he's really natural, and I showed him in the city council meetings and putting motions and in the city, and up at the monument and in the square talking about things, and so you could really get to know him without having met him.
Independent media and citizen journalism and zine culture is a predominantly middle-class culture.
It's a privileged position to be able to reflect on what is happening around you. Most people are just having to live it.
There are a lot of people who really don't have time to get on the internet, do not blog, they do not email, do not read emails.
If you're not interested in education and you're not interested in knowledge, you're not going to be interested in citizen journalism, and you're not going to be interested in independent media. So how can we make sure that people are interested in knowledge and education?
Something has to be done to make that type of journalism much more inclusive.
It's been sort of a mantra of mainstream journalism for 20 or 30 years that you need to maintain a level of detachment from the community. And while at one level that has allowed for pure objectivity, it also, when you're really divorced from the community, you're less likely to be aware of some of the things that are really influencing a community. Something that I'm feeling is starting to happen now is that re-emergence of that sense of empowerment of getting involved in journalism. And for a long time, you couldn't get involved in journalism because it was all big money, big outfits. And now you guys can do journalism if you want to.
Where I think this stuff is really mind-blowingly cool is when it gives people from very, very different parts of the world the opportunity to interact with one another.
The idea that the world can talk to itself in all corners of it, almost simultaneously, is not new. What is new, and I think very important about the Internet, is not that it's global and not that it's so fast, but that it is in the hands of regular people. I really have to, stop and ask myself, where is the future for this? I think it's being made today by thousands and probably millions of men and women in an uncoordinated way all around the world.